The countdown begins. And according to YouTube, we are live unless YouTube is lying. Hi, YouTube. Hi, friends. Welcome to another special Total OS today. This is a Linux A-Team for this evening. Yeah, I need like a soundboard. Rah, like a football game. Rah, Anyway, I would like to thank the community member who chooses to remain anonymous. I will respect your wishes if you choose to sponsor a live event. Thank you. Very, very kind of you. So for this community member sponsored live event, this is like an open chat, open forum. I will try to monitor your comments here in the comment section in the YouTube studio thing that you can't see. We are using Google Meet for this. It worked last time. It's easy to use. It works great. There's no restrictions that I'm aware of, unlike Zoom. But no. So welcome all. Before I begin, just a couple of things I need to say before we go into some somewhat specific topics. Facebook will terminate live streaming October 1st for artists, for singers. Facebook starting October 1st, no more. They are stopping live streaming for artists, as if.
How nice!
I know.
God.
As if singers and artists haven't had enough of a problem this year with the pandemic and losing a big revenue stream. Facebook Live was away, like my friend Slim Man, who gave us a nice free concert back in July. You guys might recall. He posted a thing on Facebook saying starting October 1st, this may be over. So, Slim Man is game for another concert on our channel, on the Total OS channel. You guys might recall, I think it was back in July. Gave us a nice freebie concert. Slimmy is the real deal. He has a real voice, a natural voice like our friend Stephanie. He's been doing it, I think, since the 80s. He got his break back in Motown Records way back then. But he has his own CDs. He's been doing the Rat Pack show out west 4 years at the Riviera. Everything's canceled this year. It's been a tough year for the entertainment business, not just singers, but YouTubers, theaters, anything related to the entertainment business this year. It just flat out, it sucks. It's horrible. So, that being said, Slimmy is game for another concert, probably a Friday night. It'll be free, of course, if you like his music. Go to slimman.com.
Purchase it,
Purchase CDs. I think he may have a PayPal, what's called a virtual tip jar he calls. I'll have to check. So I will contact Slimmy this week. We'll have another night of romance and amore for all the ladies and couples out there, husbands, wives. So join us. I think we'll have some time. We'll have a good time, rather. And we'll talk about, he's working on a new cookbook. Slim Man Cooks with Ubuntu. No, but it's actually called Slim Man Cooks too. And we joked last time, to him Ubuntu sounded like a power drink, like Red Bull. Which I guess it kind of does if you never heard of Ubuntu, right? Anyway, look for that. Also, check out our singer friend Stephanie Forian. For those of you who listen to this later in podcast format on Patreon, it's slimman.com, just like it sounds, Slim Man. Our friend Stephanie Forian, Stephanie, and then FORRYAN.com to help her out. She's done a few live concerts here. Great voice. As far as this channel goes, if you want to sponsor a live event, you can remain anonymous or just support the stream. You can go to paypal.me/TOS today or patreon.com/TOS today. And you can remain anonymous. So thank you. All right, so I'm going through my notes here. I actually write down notes, believe it or not, to make it easier for me. So, okay. Yesterday, on a personal note, I see Steve's in the house, the Seeker's in the house. Very good. Good evening. I went car shopping in Pittsburgh with my son. I went to look at a Lexus, a used Lexus, by the way. I don't have a spare $50,000 laying around unless somebody wants to contribute $50,000 to the channel. Be my guest. So anyway, I'm looking at this RX 350, state-of-the-art technology. Lexus cars are about as perfect as you can get. They're built by Toyota. You know the thing, the story. So I go to get in the car, and I almost banged my head on the windowsill. I'm 6'2". So for me, as a tall guy shopping for cars, if the shoe fits, wear it. In this case, if the car fits, buy it. It didn't fit me. Now, me and my son are tall guys, 6'2", and I had to walk away from the car. Excuse me. Beautiful car. If you ever driven one or ridden one, it's basically a souped up Toyota. Higher materials and all that. So that was kind of disappointing. So I'm still in the market for a used car. Now, as you know, used cars in general this year are up. Thank you, Mark, for the super chat. Prices are up about 20%, if not more. So if a car was, say, I don't know, 10,000, it's what? 12. If it's 20, well, you know how it works, and it's outrageous. And I think what happened was when we had the shutdown, the car factories shut down, and I guess there's a shortage of cars. But as they say, what goes up must come down. So this will crash eventually. But the prices, I think, are outrageous for what they are charging, at least for the used car market and for the mileage on them. So if you are in the market for a car, this is no Linux secret. Wait getting towards the end of the year in general, not just this pandemic year, but towards the end of the year, like November, December, and you should be able to find a better deal on a car in general. So I may have to do that. I don't. I was hoping to do it shop now while the weather is still nice and not shopping in a snowstorm or a rainstorm or in a freezing storm or something like that, which is not fun at all. So that's some personal notes there. Ben, what's new with you?
Oh, not a whole lot, Toss. Just not a whole lot really. Just the same old crazy stuff.
Okay. What about you, Mark?
I'm blessed with a awesome nephew. He had a 3-year-old birthday party in South Carolina recently, and we just got in from that about an hour and 30 minutes ago. I was wondering if I was going to be able to make the stream, and blessed to be here and happy. I'm feeling good. Good night.
I think this year, what's been going on in the pandemic, what's really a once-in-a-lifetime event, I think we are all lucky. I have 3 friends in Florida who caught COVID. My friend, his wife, and his son. Thankfully, they're all okay. And how my friend knew that he had it. It's kind of funny in a way. There's not too much laughter this year, but this is kind of funny. He says, "Look, I was cooking one night, making pesto sauce, okay, with spices." His son screaming at, "Dad, what are you doing? I can't breathe." And one of the things you lose if you catch it is a loss of sense of smell.
Sense of smell, yeah.
That's what he had it. Of course, he had the fever, trouble sleeping, a swollen toe. I'm not sure if that's part of the thing with COVID. But thankfully, he's okay. And it was about 2 weeks or so. Couldn't sleep at night, fever. He got through it, so thankfully everything is okay. But he kind of made me laugh. He says, "Next guy who says it's a hoax, I'm going to punch her right in the face." I understand. So, folks, it's not a hoax. It's not a hoax. Take it seriously.
Absolutely. I didn't take it seriously enough early on, and I don't really trust the mainstream media and a lot of what you see on TV, but it is definitely a threat, and it's killed quite a few people.
Yeah.
So
no, it's something not to be taken. Even if the numbers are not exact, it doesn't.
Right,
say the numbers are only half right. It's still bad. It doesn't matter.
It's still a threat.
It's getting. And I heard we're supposed to have a second wave of the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
we could, with all the gatherings and everything. The social gatherings have not slowed in certain areas like they should.
Yeah.
I won't mention any names, but it's not just the presidential rallies. It's also other things that, if what they say is true and the R naught is as high as it is, where if one person gets infected, 2 or 3, 4 more down the line, and then you multiply that several times over by the same number, that's a problem.
Yeah. I got some other news here, but I should have asked when we started. People in the chat, are our voices, or is our volume okay? It looks okay in OBS Studio. This thing crashed to me once right before I
Mine
got
might
started.
be a little low. There's that better.
No, you sound actually good, but people in the chat, just give me a yay or a nay if we sound okay. Like I said, OBS Studio crashed right before I started. I restarted, so we're okay, Seeker. Thank you. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Amazon news. Sound is good, thank you. I guess some of their Amazon Basic whatever they call it, like Amazon Basic products, they're exploding. Catching fire. No, I guess I shouldn't laugh, but I caught this like this morning briefly. Amazon has a problem with Amazon approved or Amazon Basics, like their own brand products that are exploding or catching fire. As if we don't have enough problems with a pandemic. But I'm totally I didn't do any in-depth search on this. Maybe it's all the Arch Linux laptops. It's just a joke,
Oh.
So, but do a search on that, and
Sure.
I really don't know. I guess it's quality control. I have no idea. But I
That
just
reminds me, boss.
Amazon products are on fire. No, but okay.
Okay. That reminds me of we have another exploding phone going on.
Oh boy, who?
It
What?
was the Google Pixel 4a. That was
Really?
almost a
Ooh.
Really?
yeah.
I missed that
yeah.
one.
The Pixel 4a is blowing up on people,
Oh
just
my
like
God.
the Note 7 was.
Oh my God.
Google
Well,
Pixel really needed to hit a home run with the 4A and 5 because I follow a lot of tech channels, a lot of phone review people and case
Yeah.
review. And
Yeah.
even though I don't really use my phone.
4A, and, I almost bought it, but Best
Yeah.
Buy didn't have it in.
That's the first
Well,
I've
it's
heard of a
really a good
Pixel
phone.
phone doing it, because that's usually a good phone, right?
It is really a good phone.
Okay.
Yeah. It's very underrated, but like there are people that were upset with the. I think you get a large vocal minority
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
loudest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I have a Motorola phone, the Moto G7, that I got this at a great deal for about $200, actually a little bit less. Stereo speakers, 4K rear and front camera for $200. Can't beat it. So if you're looking for a good deal on the phone, in fact, the new Motorola G Power, 3-day battery life.
Dang.
Not this one. It's the next one above for $250, which isn't bad, for a 3-day battery life phone. I think I came across an article where there's a new battery technology for phones where the batteries are made of nuclear waste.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
That should
They
be
could last
interesting.
for years and
Yeah.
years.
I'm not sure if I want a nuclear thing in my pants next to my, yeah. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that.
yeah.
Well, it's like,
Yeah, I don't want my snap packages to like glow in the dark, but okay. But a bum bum.
yeah.
If we have anybody new watching, I am monitoring the comments. If there's anybody new watching for this evening who wants to say hello or have a question, please do. If you are a newbie, no question is too stupid for us because we're not that bright anyway. No, but
Yeah.
uh,
That's
yeah, please
I'm
say
definitely
hello.
not.
I try to do these shows at different times, so everybody in different time zones gets a chance to come in and say hello. We actually had some new people last Sunday night for the first time. I think somebody from Brazil, if I recall, last Sunday night, which was great. So if you are new to this, or don't even use Linux, that's okay. Like I said, tonight it's just an
there's
open
no
chat.
harm in being new to Linux. We're a welcoming community and we'll help however we can.
Maybe you tried Linux and it wasn't for you. That's fine. Use what works.
We have heard that a couple of times, For example, when I was first starting out, it was on JU Linux 10147, which was based on Ubuntu 8.04. And I was like, I don't even know what the heck this is.
Well, everybody
Yeah.
knows my Ubuntu, my
Different
Linux
animal.
story was 2006. I saw this read up in the magazine. Are you tired of Windows XP? Why not try Ubuntu? I was like, Ubuntu? What's that?
Ubuntu.
And here I am.
Ubuntu.
Yeah.
All right.
Ba-ba-boom.
Or as my friend Slim Man says, Ubuntu sounds like one of those freaking like power drinks, like Red Bull. Hey, give me a double shot of Ubuntu. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, not only will we help you, but we actually enjoy helping you with your technical problems.
Yes.
We're
Yeah.
weird.
Personally.
We're
Fine.
strange people.
We will try.
like
At least we will try. Yeah.
We will try.
I
Yes.
use different versions, usually Ubuntu based, because I'm most comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Linux Mint.
I'm most
Speaking of
comfortable
Ubuntu
with-
based, Zorin Lite is the new Zorin
Yeah,
Lite is out,
if you want
15.3. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to expand your horizons a little bit, you can try Manjaro.
You can just make sure you have some aspirin ready to go.
Honestly,
Arch
I used
based.
to
There's
say
a fly in here. Get out of here.
on Manjaro, I used to would say never, never install that for a new user coming over from Windows. But honest to God, Toss, if you're a more analytical, logical-minded person, which I'm not saying that there aren't females that are, but males tend to be. If you're somebody that maybe you work in more of a job like
Yeah.
that requires more logical thinking, the package manager for Arch, well, for Manjaro and Arch, is one of the most straightforward package managers, to the point where I actually like it better than having the store. I find it more convenient.
Well,
It's just so logically laid out.
commands in Arch. Sudo pacman-s to install something, and
Yep.
pacman space dash capital R to remove something.
Yep.
Couldn't be easier.
Yep, but I normally do the terminal, but like for a new user, they're not going to be even that, as simple as that is. I know with a lot of my clients and stuff, having that GUI front is going to be really important to them because
Yeah.
it's just second nature. It's how they've always used a
What
computer.
they're used to, yeah, the
When
GUI.
somebody is new, try to make it as easy as possible because
Yeah.
we were all newbies at one time.
Yep,
Yeah,
You know. So,
you got to put yourself in their shoes, and
Yeah.
you know,
So yeah.
I guess I would say Manjaro. I would recommend that to some new users,
Okay.
depending on where you're at.
upon where they're coming from.
If they've
yeah.
lost their mind, yeah. No, I'm just kidding. Just
No, I'm telling you, Manjaro is stable.
Okay.
It has
Okay.
been so
All right.
stable.
I need to give a quick shout out to Tim O is in the house. He cannot jump on tonight, maybe next week. That's fine, Tim. Welcome to the show. Tim is a retired trucker. We need to do that trucker show. The future of trucking may be driverless trucks, autonomous trucking.
Yeah.
We talked
Well-
about it briefly last week or 2 weeks ago, but we'll need to get Tim's input because he's the man for the trucking business.
Yes,
So-
and also another if you want to really be daring and you're not so newbie to Linux, you can try Calculate Linux.
Oh my! For a new user,
No,
If they're a
no,
computer
just for
scientist.
someone
You'll
who's
need a
little-
6-pack of this, yeah. Mhm.
you'll
who's a little bit
you'll need
more-
those lewds then.
yeah.
Well, speaking of Linux, well, not really Linux, but computers, Walmart is going to be carrying Gateway computers.
Calculated.
Gateway
for nice
computers?
things.
Didn't they go out of business, or didn't Acer bought them out like 10 years ago or something? Remember, they had the funny packaging with the cow, thingy on their boxes, the cow design. But Walmart's going to start selling Gateway computer. I think they already have. I think the price range would be between $200 and $1,200. I need to do some more research, but I believe none of these will be Linux based. Here we go again. But so if you're looking for a computer, actually my backup computer is an older Gateway that works fine. But yeah, they are carrying, again, for what it's worth, another choice, I guess, Gateway computers. I don't know too much else about them, except they're going to range from $200 and $1,200. I don't know about any specs or anything yet, but I don't think any will have Linux. Wah, wah, here we go again. Speaking of Linux, there was a cool article, and maybe we'll talk about this on the next Linux 18. One of the, if it was Tech Republic or Ars Technica, there was a really good article that, and we've talked about this before, how Linux general has failed on the desktop for the mass market in terms of walking into a Walmart or a Best Buy. It has failed. If you want to be honest, it's
Yes.
horrible. And one of the reasons why is that we don't have, quote unquote, according to the article, a flagship Linux OS, a standard. Once again, not to replace our choices, but to add to the choices. And having a flagship, and it could be based on anything. To me, it could be based on calculus. It could be based on Arch, Gentoo, as long as it works, right? If people walk into a Walmart store and see, flagship computer, and they're not going to care what it's based on, so it's based on Arch as long as it works, because that would be a quality standard supported by the hardware manufacturers. It was a really good article, and maybe we can talk more. I have to read it again. Maybe on the next Linux 18, whenever we schedule that, we can talk more about, quote unquote, a Linux flagship OS. Wouldn't it be wonderful?
There's that link as well
Yeah.
on Patreon or
Yeah,
wherever.
I think it was Tech Republic. If you guys want to do a search, it's out there. But wouldn't it be nice that if Walmart or whoever
Yeah.
made an announcement, new gateway computers featuring ABC Linux, we'll just call it that. Wouldn't that be great? Starting at say $300 up to $1,000, 30-day money back guarantee, no questions asked, minimum 5-year updates or more, just like the Chromebooks. Wouldn't that be great to have a presence?
Yeah, I'm going to create jobs. I'm going to create jobs. Go ahead and have a lead team for technical support and add a warranty with technical support on it. And just make sure that you charge a going rate for the distro. And then you also have a donation link so people can support it that don't run the distro but want to support the project to reach new end users. And you literally have a price point and they're bringing in revenue with technical support on staff.
I mean,
so you get the same level of service that you do with a name brand.
This is not that big of a risk because we already have a Linux standard machine being sold in Walmart, a Chromebook.
Yep.
It is a Linux. Now, you may not care for Chromebooks because they're based off of Google or this and that's the politics, and that's cool. That's fine. But it is a quality standard. I have one. It has never crashed on me. Never.
They work.
It's never
very
failed.
well.
I don't use it every day because it's more or less a toy. But I've never had to install a PPA or do something in the terminal or do this fix. It just works. That is a quality standard. It's the first one I think came out back in 2011. I think it's been a few years. I've never heard. Now nothing's quote unquote perfect, granted, but they're pretty close for based on Linux. But it's not enough. People would like to buy a desktop, do something like what we do, like doing videos and multimedia. Chromebooks really aren't made for that. It's possible, but it's not really made for that. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there about a Walmart carrying Gateway. And it would have been nice to have Gateway based off of some form of Linux.
They missed it. They missed their.
Once again, the golden opportunity being thrown out the window.
Completely missed it.
I mentioned that yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Linux is becoming a little bit more of a household name. Certain distros, I feel like there's a lot more knowledge of Linux than there ever was before. I mean, we've still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but there are more of your average Joe on the street. Ubuntu, yeah, I've heard of Ubuntu. My buddy uses that, or maybe even I put my buddy on Ubuntu. Linux Mint to a degree.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much as Ubuntu, but it's pretty well known.
Yeah. Maybe next year. We keep saying this. Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
For me, the year of the Linux desktop, really, as far as it coming into its own and being as good or better alternative to Windows or Mac, I thought the year of the Linux desktop was 2018. As far as mass adoption, if you define it in that way, we've yet to see the year of the Linux desktop. I would agree then.
Considering all the problems Windows 10 has had with updates, just a headache. It has been a perfect opportunity for a Linux competitor. The only one is the Chromebook. That's okay, but it's not enough. We need something else.
fragmentation is our greatest strength and our greatest weakness all at the same time.
It certainly seems. Wouldn't that be a great title for it? It's Fragmentation OS, now on Gateway PCs.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, I actually I remember walking into a Walmart a couple months ago and actually saw 2 Chromebook laptops for sale there. I bet you the employees didn't have a clue what they were based on, but it didn't matter. They were there. Now, I didn't need one, but it was nice to see that, especially in a small city like this, in Dean Martin country. Everybody loves some Linux sometime. I just made that up. Anyway, so check out the Gateway computers on the Walmart. I don't know what kind of quality they are. No, I'm sure they're fine. They have a warranty, but they'll probably be all Windows 10 based if I had to guess.
To be honest, not to bash anybody that has a Gateway. If it's working for you and you like it, by all means, use what works for you. But I've not had. Well, our old Gateway was fine, but I have heard people that had Gateways when I went to college say they were not very good.
Okay.
When he had those, and they didn't care for them.
As far as Windows 10 goes, my son had a problem last year. His laptop for school, he did an update that had no sound. Just, I'm like, okay, I'll fix that. So uninstall or reinstall drivers. Didn't work. Let me reboot their machine. Didn't work. Let me do a system restore. Didn't work. Really, Windows? Had to reinstall the whole operating system. And it fixed. I mean, it's just 2020, man.
Windows, it gets to a point where it gets so broken.
They've lost their quality control. It didn't have to be this way. I mean, Windows 10, we can all agree, the best Windows ever. Windows 7. So
Yeah, or 8.1.
Yeah,
arguably, it's solid.
Yeah. Disappointing.
8.1, in my opinion, were the better 2 releases. 10 started okay, but then, it went.
What it is, what they were relying on is users to use the feedback system that's built into Windows 10. They fired a lot of their quality assurance team years ago. That is when
that's what I heard.
Barnacules Nerdgasm got fired.
Yeah.
Some of you guys may definitely be familiar with Barnacules Nerdgasm.
Yeah, that's not his real name, but that's his stage name.
It's Jerry Briggs is his name.
That's it. Yeah.
But anyway, his channel is Barnacules Nerdgasm. Anyway, what I was going to say is I just literally forgot what I was going to say. So moving on. That's how ADHD is sometimes.
Well, speaking of Linux, I did test the latest Zorin OS Lite 15.3. Zorin's been around, can you believe, since 2009. They haven't faded. So good for the Zorin team. They started as teenagers doing this thing. They're from Ireland, so the luck of the Irish.
Ireland. That's my people.
And it is a great release. I think that might be, next to Ubuntu Mate, maybe my number one choice for newbies, besides Ubuntu Mate, Zorin Lite. Because it'll work as little as the machine's 512 megabytes of RAM. So you have a machine that had Windows XP, maybe? You don't want to give it up, or just want to keep it as a spare? Try Zorin OS Lite. It's free. They have a couple of freebies and one paid version if you want to support the project. I think it's $39.99. It's not that much,
I have Zorin on one of my clients' PCs, actually. I'm glad that you mentioned that. I actually asked you if it was still good to try out, and you gave me the go-ahead because I hadn't used it or played with it in a while, and it's going really good.
Okay.
Things are going pretty well on her. So far, so good.
Okay.
And she's happy with it.
Okay. I'm looking at the chat, Steve. I guess you didn't get the notification. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Obviously, these guys got it, so sorry about that. We'll have to get you on here. I'm going to end this probably soon. This will not be a long one tonight. But
I was going to let him on and play some if he wanted, but yeah.
Okay. But I'm going to end this probably soon. So we're just getting through the main topics here. Once again, if there's anybody new watching, and I'm going to keep saying it to nudge you. If you're new, say hello. I don't want to twist your arm or anything. Hello, Kenny. Welcome.
Hey, Kenny.
Okay. Oh no, it's more on your phone, Steve. Okay, got it. Okay. So let's see here. Go to my notes. So yeah, Zorn OS Lite. Check it out because it works pretty good. It is, and yes, it is faster than Ubuntu. I tested that. So I've been running Ubuntu on my backup desktop. It is stable. There's no question. But it's not the zippiest. Dome is not the zippiest of desktops out there. It's getting better with each release, but it's not quite. It just seems like it hasn't reached its peak yet. But that's okay. It will get there. It is perfectly stable. So if you are new to Linux, want to try Ubuntu, it's probably not my first choice for new users. It does look different. It's not that hard to learn. But look, if it wasn't for Ubuntu, and maybe for a lot of people, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
That was my first date, my first Linux date, as far as, trying something totally opposite of Windows 14 years ago. And I am so glad that I did. So, all right, so we're going to go into some... one more thing I wanted to mention. I think I did a video on this, but what is the biggest computer mistake, the number one computer mistake a newbie can make, a PC user can make, the number one mistake? I did post a video on that. I think it was last month.
When they run into a problem to try to troubleshoot more complicated things and not restart the PC. They make the mistake by not restarting the PC when they have a problem. Because it clears up 95% of most problems. That's a little bit.
That's not the number one problem, but that's certainly a problem.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah. Ben, want to take a crack? Anybody here in the chat? The number one problem, potential problem for someone using a computer.
What was the question? Sorry,
What is the number one and somewhat potentially dangerous number one problem for a computer newbie, user?
Well, a computer user, learning how to, I think what Mark said, learning how to troubleshoot stuff properly. They need to learn how to troubleshoot things in a common way that, things won't blow up in their face easily. For example, they get a virus or some other random Windows problem happens to them. But normally,
that's more of a headache thingy, not so much potentially dangerous. I'll give you guys a hint. It has to do with
the passwords.
It has to, that's also a headache. I forgot my Xbox One password last night. I was here with my boy, and by the way, my son is watching. So, love you, son. He says he'll be watching tonight. But last night I forgot my password. I'm like, I'll just fix it tomorrow, which is today. So I took care of it. I haven't used my Xbox all year, and I had a 64 gigabyte update for Halo. I'm like, my son says, "Well, Dad, duh, if you don't use it all year." All right, 64 gigabytes though. Anyway, no. Here's a hint on the number one problem. Chase is right. What if you go to sell your computer and you didn't pull out the hard drive or erase it?
Oh, yeah, you talked about that the other day.
That, my friends, is the number one problem, bar anything. Number one, because all your life is on there, right?
That's exactly right.
And if you don't forget to pull it or erase it, honestly, if you're not sure, just pull it there. And you're not going to break anything. There's there's two cords on. Just pull one and two. Pull it out, grab the hard drive, and sell it the way it is, as is. Knock off $25. SSDs today are cheap, and you're good to go.
I made that video.
That is the number one problem.
Important video. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so important.
Not knowing the difference between hardware and software problem, yes. People think that, no, because I deleted everything. Yeah, it's out of mind. It's out of sight, but it's not out of your computer's mind. When you click delete, for all you newbies out there, whether it's on Linux or Windows, you delete that link or that shortcut to whatever you deleted. It stays on your hard drive. It's basically telling the computer, okay, this can be erased or overwritten with something else. You click delete, it's off your desktop. It's out of sight, but it's not out of your computer's mind. So remember that. If you sell your computer or donate it, especially now, what 30, 40 million out of work. People can use computers. You want to donate it, that's great. Pull the hard drive. And if you really want to help the person, pull the hard drive, buy a new $25, $30 SSD off of Amazon, install it for that person, install whatever Linux they want, and help them find a new job or work from home, whatever, if you want to do something positive.
Yeah.
How's that?
Awesome.
Problem-
I totally agree with that.
Problem solved.
Oh, yeah.
But that is, especially now this year, who knows how many people like out of work, they have 2 or 3 computers. You know what? They need some extra cash and they sell 1 or 2 without thinking, oh man, I didn't erase everything, or thinking they deleted, but it's not really erased. Delete does not necessarily mean erased. Just remember that.
You need at least to write with all zeros. If you're really, really paranoid, you might want to go even further and do like I.
There's free software. I think even CCleaner has an erase built-in eraser in it, right? For software,
Yeah.
And if you run that 2 or 3 times, that should be enough.
You could, I would say honestly, one time write with all zeros is good for most people.
Right.
And all, if you kind of know who's going to end up with the machine. If you don't know who's going to end up with the machine, you might get unlucky. It might be somebody tech savvy, and then they have all your banking information. If they're tech savvy enough, it's probably a long shot, but it can happen.
It is possible to restore information that's been deleted or erased. I
Yeah.
suppose the only way to be 100% sure, pull the hard drive or the SSD, because then that
Exactly.
physically stays with you, and there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They really want to protect some sensitive stuff, or they're just wanting to just forget about something. Just pull the dang hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, just remember,
Well,
when you pull it, you're not breaking anything. If you're new to all this, you're
Right.
just pulling the brain out of it. Everything else is going to turn on and work. You just popped out the
It's
Just pull out the hard drive. Yeah.
well, not
It's
the
a
brain. You
huge
popped out the caddy trunk of stuff. You just took it with you.
You know what? I have heard of the CPU processor being referred to as the brain for so long that I bought into it.
Yeah.
I actually disagree that the CPU processor is the brain. At least there's probably 2 brains, and one is the hard drive.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair.
Maybe
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
and RAM is a part of that brain because RAM is your active memory.
Right.
That's in your frontal lobe.
Yeah. Right. No, I know.
So it depends on how you look at it. It's interesting to me though because I've always thought of the CPU as being the brain because it does all the arithmetic, the adding and subtracting. But there are other parts that could be considered the brain, like storage, hard drive, memory.
Yes.
And it's our buddy TJ. How
That's
you doing,
right.
TJ?
A lot of information. Don't forget, because you'll be quizzed tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but like, I was going to say, if you know how to and you're okay with it, absolutely just pull the drive, keep the drive, mark it off $20, $25, make
Yeah.
the sale, be
Yeah.
happy, go shopping.
And be secure.
But-
And you got your own information with you, right? Yeah. Right.
To be secure, because you can't ever tell who might get their hands on it.
What
Or
you
who
may
might-
want to do is just to prove to the customer, to the person you're selling, look, I'm going to turn it on. You can browse the web just to show them it works. And
Yeah.
then shut it off. Make sure you turn it off. There's no juice. Unplug it, and then pull the drive, and you're
Yeah.
good to go. And that's
Yeah,
it.
just shut it down and kill the power.
Right.
Yeah, but if I was going to say, if you're not comfortable, and most people are, I feel like these days, with using a screwdriver and going in and getting the screws out to remove the drive,
Yeah.
like if it's an older
Getting
machine, it might
technical.
be a little more.
Yeah.
If there are
I feel
people
that.
out there that are uncomfortable unscrewing and removing drives,
I understand.
as crazy as that sounds,
Yes. Yeah.
like
yeah.
you think of somebody like an 80-year-old grandmother.
Yeah.
It happens. But if that's the case, bring it by a local tech shop. Just bring it by a shop. Pay a small fee. Don't pay a lot for them to do it because it shouldn't take them no time. They shouldn't charge you any more than, I don't know, $45-$60 or so. Have
Just-
them run a tool to wipe it right with all zeros.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be done with it.
Yeah. Kenny
They'll
is saying
take the
lots of
hard
people
drive and have it
confuse
stored
memory
for
with
you.
storage, RAM versus. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
to be expected if they don't know much about computers, Kenny. That's normal in a way. So yeah, You know, but yeah, pull the hard drive. You're going to sell it or donate it. Don't leave your personal stuff in there, obviously, you know.
Right. And if you trust the shop and they have a connection, I want to get one of these connections to have somebody to do it for me, but I've had a couple clients. They could send the drive off to be shredded if you really wanted that extra peace of mind and give you kind of a receipt that
Yeah.
it's been done. But you got to make sure you trust the guys you're getting your computer worked on at, because I'm sure there are good repair people, but you just need to make sure, pay attention to people and kind of look around, see how they run their business. Are they
Well,
business people of
That's
integrity?
true.
Are they going to do right by you? If you know a tech personally very well and you know they're good at what they do, if you have a personal relationship with them, that's better, because it builds there's got to be trust. I would rather you do that if you're
that's
already
true
a
with any
pretty-
service, really, when you think about it. You know,
Yeah.
especially cars and car mechanics. You know.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
So, all right, we're going to go to some news and nonsense here in a minute or so. So, are there any other questions or comments here in the comments section? I've been looking, and then we'll
You just
wrap.
don't want to get it.
Yeah.
You don't want it to get shuffled to the back, and then they forget about it and never wipe it. You get charged, and
That's
then
why it's
just
best.
there.
Pull the hard drive and then sell
Yep.
it or give it away.
There
And
you
wash
go.
it, and you're done.
There you go.
Make some cash out of it, or donate it, and you're good to go. Move on
Yeah.
to the next one. You know.
That covers all the bases.
Pretty
I think,
much, yeah. But again, that is my number one problem
Yeah.
for computer newbies who don't think about it till after the fact. Again, deleting does not mean erasing. Okay?
right. It just
Just
deletes the reference point to
Right.
it.
Yeah. That link or that shortcut. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to replace the hard drive to have it properly erased or wiped. Yeah, if you're going to pay someone, Kenny, yeah. If the person doesn't know how to do it, yeah, I would say so. Yeah. So
You can do it yourself if you know
Yeah.
what you're doing. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that.
It's going to
And
take time, but it can be
Yeah.
done. I've tested these erase programs, CCleaner and stuff. It's fine. It works, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Depending on how big your drive is and how slow or fast it is.
yeah. All right. Why don't we go to some news and nonsense? Once again, if there's anybody new watching, have not said hello yet, please do, because that's what we're here for. All right, you guys ready for some news and nonsense? Okay, here we go.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, baseball season, I guess we have like another month. It's been a weird year for sports, but this is who is this? This is Phillies pitcher. Any Philly fans? Philadelphia Phillies pitcher Zach Wheeler injures finger while putting on pants. I don't know how you do that by putting on his pants.
Alrighty.
This is a family channel, so I can't go into more jokes. I'll let you guys use your imagination. Okay. Let's see here. A woman eats 10 jelly donuts in 3 minutes for a Guinness World Record. 10 jelly donuts. And those are fairly thick because they're filled with that. 10 in 3 minutes. Look, okay, guys, look. I've heard about a sweet woman, but that's ridiculous. Come on, man. 10 in 3 minutes. Wow.
She's got to be.
Okay.
She's healthy.
She's called a British speed eater. Okay, in Birmingham.
She's a healthy weight, I tell you.
Okay, well, 3 minutes, enough to capture the record. So good for
Wow.
Leah, is her name. Good for her.
Okay.
All right, next one. A missing hiker crashes press conference about his own disappearance. Okay. An 80-year-old British hiker who went missing during a hailstorm was reunited with his family, and he arrived at the press conference to publicize his disappearance. Talk about making an entrance. Okay. I'm glad he's okay. Yeah, you know. All right, what else do we have here? A goat hops into deputy's car, chews on civil papers. It's got to be against the law, right? You know, goat eating paper, civil papers. Body camera footage shared by the sheriff shows the deputy getting out of the car and a goat soon jumping inside the car, the cruiser. Deputy made repeated attempts to get the goat out of the car. How do you file that to the boss? at 12:43 p.m. today, as I proceeded to make an arrest, a goat runs into my car. I mean, how do you write that, man? But okay.
That guy got lucky.
Okay, well,
That criminal.
and the goat had his lunch.
Yep.
Okay. This is from Austria, and the Austrians out there. An Austrian man spends 2.5 hours in ice for a Guinness World Record. Austrian daredevil submerged himself up to his shoulders in ice for 2 hours, 30 minutes, 53 seconds, wearing only but a Toskini or swimming trunks. Skippy swimming trunks. Now, okay, all right, okay. How did he protect his, yeah.
Oh. Ooh.
How did he
That's
protect,
gonna be a problem.
how did he protect his kernels? I'll put it to you that way.
Mm,
I mean, jeez.
my fault.
His motivation was to go beyond his own limits and point out climate change at the same time. I think I'll just read the journal, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not gonna. So talk about putting someone on ice. Haha.
He's gonna lose his Linux.
Ooh, man. Okay. Well, let's see. What else do I have here? Oh, the next. The Fast and the Furious movies. The next one apparently takes place in space. How do you drive a race car to space? That's what I read. It's a rumor. I don't know if it's the next Mission Impossible movie. Supposedly, also part of it takes Tom Cruise goes to the space station. And by the way, speaking of Tom Cruise, they're shooting Mission Impossible 7. I tried trying to finish it amidst the pandemic. He rented a cruise ship for $500,000 to finish the show of the movie. He rented the ship in case his crew caught COVID. That's actually pretty smart when you think of it, because he figured if the crew catches it, they're already quarantined on the cruise ship. Now, how much time does $500,000 buy you on a cruise ship? Is it minimum 14 days, 21 days? That ship could be a tourist attraction. Circle around the ship as the crew there, and Tom Cruise waves. Mr. Ethan Hunt. I've been watching Mission Impossible on Comcast, catching up on 2 of them that I miss. Those are all great movies, by the way. And what else do I have here? Speaking of movies, again, finally the James Bond movie. What's it called? No Time to Die. That's going to be released, I think, in November.
Mm-hmm. Billie Eilish sang the theme song to that.
A teenager, if I'm not mistaken, of all people, sang the theme song. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. Part of that was filmed in Italy, a place called Matera, I believe, where they filmed The Passion of the Christ, if I'm not mistaken, years ago with Mel Gibson. I'm looking forward to that. Top Gun 2 hopefully will come out. But here's the thing. Theaters are not allowed to have more than 50% capacity. So how do you make money? If you cut your business by 50%.
Drive-in theaters with CDC restrictions in place. They're going to come back.
Yeah.
They're going to make a comeback. People love that.
Well, assuming that it's not wintertime and a snowstorm and it's cold, you can go to a drive-in.
It'll have to be seasonal, and that's still going to be difficult to run a
Right. Here we have a drive-in. Of course, in the wintertime, it ain't going to happen.
But people have less to do, so if there's a movie on,
right,
they're a little more willing to in an environment. Well, what else is there to do? There's a movie on. I'd like to see it. Bond is a well-known franchise.
The local theater, the AMC theater here, shut down for good.
Yeah.
No, we don't have a theater. We have run across the river in West Virginia. It's a family-owned theater, which is nice, But the one here at the mall shut down. So, like I said, this has been a tough. I don't know how these artists are doing it on virtually almost zero income. Or 90% of their income just gone.
One thing that's hurt Hollywood is all the politics that have been injected into it, and there's a lot of controversy. I won't get into it, but that's going to hurt them a lot as it is, because there's a lot of politics going on right
You know,
now.
when I go to a movie, and we'll end this on this, the last thing on my mind is the outside world or reality or the pol. I want to go there for a nice escape, have a good time, maybe laugh, chuckle, talk to a few friends.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this. The best movies, whether they are $200 million blockbusters or a little $1 million little independent film, the best movies are the ones that are didactic. Okay, that's the word for the night. Meaning, the best movies are the ones that not only entertain but enlighten you
Yeah.
about culture, like The Godfather.
Hmm.
A Few Good Men. Movies like that where you're entertained but they also make you think. And those are the most enjoyable films. And it's not. Joker is another film from last year that will make you think about society. Heartbreaking.
Yeah. Joker.
And that won an
really
Oscar or two. It's no surprise that movies like that tend to be at least Oscar nominated or Oscar mentioned. And I think Joaquin Phoenix won the award for playing Joker. What a fantastic performance in that
He
film.
was superb.
And the ending is chilling. It's kind of reflective
I
of
have
today.
still
in a
got to
way.
watch it. I may
Yeah,
watch
I won't
it.
give it away, but the ending will make you think. It's a reflect. This takes place in the 80s, I think, in New York, where I
Yeah.
was born. So yeah, again, no fancy special effects, no explosions, just a movie that's a reflection of humanity.
Really good storytelling and really
Yeah.
good character building.
Yeah. Spin Vikings in the house. Hello, Spin. Welcome. I see TJ Wolf. If there's anybody I missed in the chat, welcome all. So we're going to wrap this up soon for this community member sponsored for a special edition of the Total OS Today or the Linux 8 team here on Total OS Today. So thank you. I know we have the people who sponsor these live streams choose to be anonymous. Of course, I will respect your wishes. So thank you. And maybe you can sponsor the next one if you want to. So, and you can even pick a topic. So,
Thank you for that, whoever you are out there. Appreciate you helping keep things going for dogs.
All right. And don't forget, people, my Linux from Scratch live stream tomorrow at 1 or 2 p.m. I will hope to see as many people as I can attend that.
see, Ben has gone through so many distros. When he uses when he uses Linux, he makes me want to scratch my head. So it's an appropriate Linux from scratch.
That's funny.
Hello, Wood
Yeah.
Beast. Yeah, you are a little late, but you can watch this on the replay. So,
Yeah, he has racked his head on some distros, definitely.
Yes. I will hope to see you there tomorrow, Mark.
I will do my best to make it, even though it's kind of. Actually, I start at 1, so I could probably make it.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, I will see you guys tomorrow then.
very
See you,
good.
Ben.
Very
All right.
good.
See you guys.
Have a good one.
Let's give this a 5-minute warning, and we'll wrap it up here around 9 p.m. local time. So, any final comments or questions? Once again, and anybody new out there who wants a chance to say hello or ask a question, please do.
Yeah, if you got any technical questions, now's the time. Bank in on it while you can.
By the way, if you hear any little background music, it's from my buddy Slim Man. It's from his CD called Sweet 16. And what this was, according to what he wrote here, his fans picked the 16 favorite songs from 20 years of original music, and the top 16 songs are on the CD. Just to give you an idea, the title of the songs: Faith in Us, End of the Rainbow, Overdose of You, Secrets of Your Heart. Just an idea of what he sings. So I hope to have him here for another concert here soon. Just again, check out slimman.com. Great guy. Out in Palm Springs. Stuck out there. I hope he's okay with all these fires. Wow, have you seen the news? California is on fire, literally.
Literally.
It's like the planet Mars.
Orange.
Ooh, it's bad. So people out there, if you're out, be safe, please. It's horrible. God bless all the hats off to all the firefighters, out there, and the people who fly the water planes or whatever they're called, tankers. My goodness, it's bad. Anyway, be safe out there. So
Can't help but to feel for those people.
Yeah, I guess drought. I guess lightning strikes, multiple lightning strike. I think one was caused by someone starting a campfire. But all that. And then what do they call those? The Santa Ana winds. Uh,
Hmm.
it's crazy how fast those fires can just converge. Wow. Anyway, it's bad, so be safe out there. So that's what I've been listening to, Slim Man, Sweet 16 CD. So
Yeah, it's all they can do. They put out one or two, and then
yeah,
the
yeah,
two or three more have
yeah.
started.
Right, right. Yeah, those
It's
of
net.
you who joined in late, you can catch this on the replay. To all the patrons on Patreon, say that fast. I generally transcode these and link these up to the Patreon site in a podcast format, just as a thank you. You guys have said you don't have to do anything special to toss, just thank you. But that's just a little thank you. It doesn't really take that long. How you do this is once I should hit record in OBS, but I forgot. So what I'll do is tomorrow night I will download this video, this live stream that we're doing tonight from the YouTube server. I will download it. Then I will use Audacity to normalize the audio and then convert it into an MP3 format and then upload it to the Patreon site. And you guys can listen to this later if you want to in the car or on the road. So that's how you do that.
Cool, cool.
History shows wildfires from the 1880s would be. Yeah, well, I think these are the worst. I think they said these are the first, the second, and the third, and the fourth worst fires converging now, or something like that. So it's pretty bad. Yeah, so be safe out there if you are out there.
2020 looks more and more like the apocalypse.
It seems
It
that
just
way.
does. It's terrible.
Yeah, we went out to a picnic today, and it was nice to have people out. It was outside, and but it's just a feeling, everybody wearing masks, and you take your mask off to eat, put it back on. It doesn't feel normal. Human beings are meant to socialize. They're meant to interact, to shake hands, to hug, to kiss.
Hmm.
Hopefully we'll get back to normal next year, I hope. So we'll see.
And I hope it's not going to take all year to get back to some semblance of normalcy. Everybody's just sick of it. We're so sick.
I know. I mean, this is a once in a lifetime event. The last one was 1918, the Spanish flu.
Well, there could be other pandemics in the future.
Well,
You know,
right. But
I feel like there will
yeah.
be.
Well, I think this one is quite sufficient for us. This is all that
Yeah.
I want, So.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, my friends here in the chat, and those of you who watch this later, thank you for watching this, for joining me some of your Sunday night. Thank you for your support. There are links below here in the channel if you want to support the channel and the live shows. That's all I have for this. We'll do this again hopefully sometime soon. If you have any questions, just post them in the comments below in the show notes or send me an email and we'll go from there. Yes, do not wear a face diaper for a facial mask. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I'll just leave it. Boy, what a way to end the show. I'll just say long live Linux, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's all I have for this. I'll catch you on the next one, Mark and everybody here. And as we say in Italian, arrivederci. Ciao.
Peace.